Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Speed Draw Therapy. The first episode that I did of this, I really wasn't sure about it until after it came out, and I kind of rewatched it and realized how fun it was to make it, and some people were happy to see it. So I'm going to be doing more of these, and this episode in particular, I'm going to be talking about my work experience because, you know, every young person knows that having a good job is almost impossible. And if you do have a good job in today's climate, then you're probably one of the richest people alive. So for context, I used to work for Zooies for actually a number of years. I worked there for about 4 years until I left Seattle, which is where it was located, and I moved down to Pahrump, Nevada, which is an hour away from Las Vegas, which is where I've been trying to get to for the last 4 months, but I've been unemployed the entire time. Like, all this time that I've been searching, I haven't found a single job that will take me. And the only few jobs that I ever did find that seemed like they actually liked me and wanted me on the team, they were all fucking weirdos, which, you know, those have their individual stories on my channel as is, so I'm not going to go into those. But today I wanted to talk about how truly homesick I am for that amazing photo editor job that I used to have for Zooies. So I'm going to go ahead and get into a little bit of a background on how I got that job, because I think it's important for the main core of this video. So I ended up getting that job because I worked in the customer care section for a little while, for about a year and a half, and I had been trying to find jobs inside the Zooies office for a little bit, for like a whole half a year. I've been trying to just, you know, get my foot in the door, and it seemed like nothing was working. I tried to work in a marketing job, become an intern, and that never worked out. I guess I just wasn't really qualified for those jobs, and I mean, I said in the last video, I'm not really a great artist. I tried to be a graphic designer there, and it just, I don't know, they just didn't really like my shit, and it's understandable. I'm not really the professional type. I'm not the corporate type, so it really makes sense why I never got those jobs. But in the experience of getting the photo editor job, I really learned a huge lesson, and that lesson was that, even if you're searching for something very specific that you think that you can actually get, life knows that there's a better alternative. And it was 100% true, because some months after I got the photo editor job, I asked one of my friends in the marketing team, what do you like about your job? And he was working the same job that I was applying for, that I was trying to get, and he's like, dude, this fucking job sucks. I'm underpaid, they're overworking me, I don't fucking want to do this shit. Basically, it was a whole thing where he had to be creative and work on production type shit all day long, and it was a non-stop battle. But when it came to being a photo editor, I realized that I got so lucky with this job that came up, because it required no higher education, and as long as you had some Photoshop experience, you could work it, which basically means that it was an actual creative entry-level job, which is almost non-existent today. Entry-level creative jobs don't exist anymore, except for a very slight few. Now, with that being said, I just woke up less than an hour ago, and I had a dream about how much I love and miss working in this photo studio at Zooies. And I mean, to say the least, that waking up from that dream was really kind of emotional. I didn't cry or anything, but it was most certainly one of those dreams that really, you just kind of had to sit back and think about for a little bit, because, you know, it really made you wish that maybe I should have stayed in Seattle for a little bit longer. And you're probably wondering, why did you even leave in the first place? Well, it's because I was truly convinced that if I didn't leave soon, then Seattle was going to kill me. If you don't know, Seattle is one of the most disgusting cities you could possibly live in. I'm not just saying physically disgusting. I mean, everybody's addicted to fentanyl there. Everybody has a drug problem. Everybody's a fucking complete psychopath. It's the hometown. It's the the flagship headquarters of the LGBTQ, which I fucking hate with all my heart. And it's just not a nice place to live. Like, I had my car broken into 3 separate times in the whole like span of a year, which is completely insane. So yeah, to say the least, I had to get the fuck out of there, and I don't think anybody can judge me for for making that decision. But you know, there are times where I really sit back and wonder, you know, maybe I should have just held out in Seattle for a little bit longer, because not only do I miss the job, I also miss the people that I worked with. More specifically, I miss how my manager, Tracy, her name was Tracy, she was amazing, because she ran things in such a way where she was so hands-off that it almost felt like, you know, you were just running yourself, and you kind of were. I was confused because any other job that I've ever had before this, I was getting micromanaged on everything. Like, don't be on your phone. Hey, what are you doing? Don't do that. Like, hey, where have you been? It's been 5 minutes and you haven't been at your desk. And it's like, that shit was getting so toxic. But when I got the photo editor job, I was so confused, because I'm like, well, do I have to ask to leave my desk? And they're like, no, you can just, if you have to go, you have to go. I'm like, what? I was like completely dumbfounded. And in fact, I wasn't the only photo editor that worked there. I had a partner named Tate, who's this really cool Hawaiian guy. He's really quiet, but he was really cool to be around. He was a cool guy, and he was one of the people that taught me, that, you know, trained me on some of the, like, the methods that they were using in Photoshop and stuff. And you know, he was like, if you have to, like, go take a walk around the building, you could do that. If you need to go get a snack and step away from your computer, like, that's your prerogative. Nobody can tell you. And I'm like, what? And there are times where, like, you know, it's Zoomies. If you're familiar with Zoomies, like, the whole couch thing is like the mascot of Zoomies. And so, like, the office naturally was filled with couches everywhere, just in random places. So if I ever got tired, because I've been dealing with, like, insomnia problems my entire life, I could just go and fall asleep on a couch for an hour and nobody would ask about it. And that was what was really cool. And, you know, it was just the freedom to just handle and deal with my own schedule and take care of my own business, as long as I got all my work done at the end of the day, was one of the greatest feelings that I've ever had. And I almost feel naive in the fact that I left that, you know? And it really says a lot, considering it was the greatest job that I've had and probably will have. I don't know if I'll ever get that back. But I don't know, we'll see, because I actually do have a new interview on Monday for an entry-level photographer job, which I feel like my chances of getting that job are a lot higher than most of the people applying for that, because, again, it's entry-level. And the thing about entry-level jobs is that in the creative market, those don't exist. Anybody who works in a creative space, like, knows that those jobs are non-existent. You almost can't get those jobs because, the whole market is so saturated. You know, with all of these high standards, these employers expect so much from you to work a job that really doesn't require that much education or whatever the fuck it is. Like, they want you to do so much, but you get so little in return. And for me, I had this really big problem with just the fact that I left that job without realizing how fucked up the job market is. It itches at my skin every single day. But this new interview that I have on Monday it might potentially be the job that I get. If you don't know, I've been unemployed for 4 months, and you know, I hate saying that because it's like the biggest fall off ever. Like, I went from having the best job any young person could ever have, to having nothing. And I don't ever want to tell somebody that I'm unemployed living with mom and dad, you know, but this is just the position that I'm in, and I just really hope that I can get back to where I was in Las Vegas soon. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and thanks so much for listening. And I'll be doing a lot more of these in the future because this was so much fun. But anyway, you guys have a great rest of your day.